Hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a fabulous group energy healing. And it is the February 2026 twin set healing 2 of 2. And this month we have been working sort of a dual theme, clear denial to inspire progress, and also heal emotions and sexuality. But they're not totally separate, because a lot of times emotional and sexual baggage is part of what people are in denial about and part of what is sort of weighing them down so that they don't progress as quickly as they would otherwise. A lot of people, they just blow off their emotions, like, oh, my, I'm not going to think about that. I don't have time. So, but when you clear it through energy healing, it doesn't have to take a long time. So that's the good news. And you don't have to like relive it all to clear it. So even more good news. But this twin set, so then that's just the overall theme for this month that we've been doing, and all the 5 group healings from this month that work that theme or those themes are in the same playlist, and they're linked in the info section of this live stream. But then for the twin set, the first healing, we did more of like a focus on faster positive change. And I talked about how the angels were encouraging me to tell people about how this whole year, like this lunar astrological year that just started, and also just the regular calendar year 2026, that it's going to be easier for people to make more rapid positive changes in their life if they kind of align to their faster positive change. So there'll be kind of an extra push from astrology and the universe and stuff if you're already lined up that way. If you're in all the resistance and denial that you're normally in, then it might actually just feel kind of, it might actually not feel good, but if you're ready for the positive change, then it's like you're in the right direction already, and so it's just like a wave that pushes you forward a little more. So that's nice. We can be ready. So today, I'm very prepared, and it's going to be simpler, like what we're doing, easier to explain, and just more like easier to sort of conceptualize, I think. But first, I did want to say, so I just made a separate walkthrough video. Some of you may have caught wind of that and hopped on when I was doing it. It's a 16-minute video, and it's an out-of-body meditation, which is interesting. It's only this, I do out-of-body meditations in my life. Like if you're waking up, and you're not yet fully awake, you can kind of enjoy that sort of floatiness, and sometimes your psychic abilities can be even better when you're, before you come in and start your day. So it's definitely a regular thing that I do personally, but to do a walkthrough of an out-of-body meditation, I've only done one other one. If you look up Janet Wright Sky Jacuzzi or Janet Wright out-of-body meditation, you should find it. It has like a lot of white flowers. I'm outside in my backyard that I had at that time when I did it, and there's a lot of white flowers behind me. But this one, the thumbnail has purple flowers and like a little mountain scene in the background. It's just a photo I purchased that I really like. But that out of body meditation is 16 minutes long. I just made it, and I think people might like it. So, but again, do not do an out of body meditation when you're driving or when you're in an unsafe public location, because you'll have your eyes closed and it may cause you to fall asleep. It'll be cool either way, but do it when where you're safe and in a private location. Okay, so that's that. Yet another short video that maybe I think a lot of people might find it easy to do, but some people might find it hard, like that. But I would welcome your feedback, in under the video if you want, or I suppose in your post-healing survey, you could put feedback on that video too if you want. But if you like the video, definitely please give it a thumbs up and comment on it, which helps. And if you could give this stream, chat comments if you want, and comments later, and thumbs up and all that. If you want, it does help for sure. Okay, so then today, so the concepts that we're working today, denial is part of the theme, and I did want to work more on that. It's such a great thing to clear. And I really do like how the angels had me put that twist on clearing denial in this month, where it was like clear denial to inspire progress. Because it kind of underscores how beneficial it can be. That you could actually, there could be things that if only you weren't in so much denial, you'd realize, and then it would like automatically propel you forward more, because you'd be like, oh yeah, why haven't I done that yet? Oh, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, like realizations. Like sometimes we work it as anyway. So there's like an easy kind of interesting visual way to clear denial that the angels suggested and showed me, and I like it. So we'll do that. So there'll be some clear denial stuff that'll be easy, simple, straightforward, non-technical. Really, like you won't have to have chakra knowledge or anything to do it. And then so that is the clear denial one. I'll just make it all in one big chapter, the explaining. Then sometimes we've done like when you imagine yourself on your spiritual path, and are you moving forward on your spiritual path? And if not, is there something holding you back, like literally from walking forward on your spiritual path? So we're kind of going to do that, but we're just not going to we're not going to imagine you on your spiritual path. Just we're going to imagine you, like all of you, the way you are now, and just imagine that, and can you walk forward? And if there's anything holding back your progress that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, imagine it as if it's holding you back, and then imagine what it is and clear it. And you don't really have to imagine what it is, but it tends to be really interesting if you can kind of go with it and just kind of let your mind tell you what it is. Maybe it's, some baggage from a relative, or maybe it's, some leftover baggage from a past previous job that you had that you didn't finish clearing, or whatever. And then of course we'll clear it. So, and we'll do that a few times, so you can keep melting what's holding back your progress. And we may do like different types of progress, what's holding back your progress with this and this and this. So we'll see. And then we're going to do work to help the progress part of the theme. Well, yeah, I think okay. I don't want to go back, but there will be, I haven't mentioned much for emotions and sexuality, but it'll be in each one of these themes. I'll work it in each one of these things, techniques, will also work sexuality and emotions. But the final thing, the third thing that I want us to work on today is we'll do some detailed work on the 7th chakra and the creative rings, 3 gold rings that are up here, and your 7th chakras, to help with inspiration and progress and having clear intuition. Because sometimes you just don't know like what's the best thing to do to help your progress. And even if you just know it on a subconscious level, a lot of times that's enough, you know. But sometimes you're just too blocked, you know, like there's just too much junk here in your creative rings or here in your 7th chakra that, or, you know, let's say your creative rings in your 7th chakra are like half decent. You know, so you're doing a half decent job at making progress. But if we can clear them and optimize them more, then, you know, you could make progress even more easily, you know, and yes, please. so that'll be cool too. I'm looking forward to that. So that's that we'll do today. In addition to the 5 essentials at the start, I'll do a little more, you know, less of an explaining version of it. It'll be a little bit more of like, you know, the experience version of 5 essential stuff. And there, for those of you who maybe just tuned out and didn't listen to the last healing, before the Thursday healing, right before it, immediately before it, like minutes before it, I did a short live stream that turned into a video, you know, and that's a 17-minute walkthrough of all the 5 essentials. The only thing with that, and it's the experience version, so there's way less explaining, so it's kind of fun as an advanced person to use it. I even surprised myself at how much I enjoyed it. Enjoyed using it, because I don't explain a lot, so it's like, okay, do this, okay, do this, because you can always like stop the video if I'm going too fast and there was something kind of fascinating that you need to do extra, you know. But like to speed up the video is a little harder. I mean, I guess you could listen to me at like 2 times speed if you needed to. Anyway, so what I wanted to say, let me make it its own little chapter. So I already started talking about it. The experience version 5 essentials walkthrough video, which I made 3 days ago on Thursday. I do like it, but I think I didn't do good karma windows. I don't think I explicitly had people check the good karma windows. So if I didn't, I guess that's somewhat unfortunate, but it was a pretty thorough, like, of the meridians and unblocking and repairing the auras and using a ton of gold light. So I think indirectly, even if I didn't overtly mention it, but again, I'm just not sure. I may not overtly mention the good karma windows back there in that walkthrough. That's the only part of the 5 essentials that maybe is lacking in that video. But otherwise, it's a good video, if I do say so myself. I mean, you know, it's nice to have it. But I do want your feedback, because, you know, feedback on these little videos, it's good to know what you think about them. You know, when you use them, if they help, how it affected you. You know, it helps me think of, like, you know, reflect upon it, because I'm trying to, you know, obviously make it easier for people to work their energy on a regular basis. You know, so they're not like, gee, why do I always wake up with my coworker in my space? Well, you know, you could do your 5 essentials. But, you know, maybe the 5 essentials needs to have bird sounds in the background before you're willing to do it. You know, and if so, I'll make one like that probably. Or maybe, you know, like, if you are resistant still to doing this stuff, and you won't use it and you know you won't use it even though you know you need it, you could put that like in a survey or somewhere, you know, that I'll read, because then I can kind of reflect upon that. Because if you're resistant, then I'm sure you're not the only one, you know? So there's no need to, you know, keep quiet about it. Just be like, yeah, I appreciate the effort, but I don't know what's up with me. I know I need to do it, but blah, 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 you know, whatever. It's good to know. That's all I'm saying. So feedback appreciated. What else? Oh yeah, speaking of that. So I always appreciate survey feedback, post-healing survey feedback, even if it is quite late. However, I do want to say, I've said this only once before, so I think a lot of people didn't maybe hear it. A late survey is definitely better than no survey in my book. However, if you could, like, I got at least double the surveys this morning and this afternoon, like halfway through my day, I was still getting surveys from people. And if I had gotten those last night, that could have helped me a lot with time management. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, I'm time management challenged regardless. So it is not your fault. But, you know, if you could kind of, you know, if so, say the healing's on Thursday, the next healing's on Sunday, if you could do the survey on Friday or Saturday, like, you know, and not like the very last minute on Saturday, you know, because it'd be nice if I could, you know, download what everyone says and kind of read it all and plan in advance. You know, it would be nice. I mean, I did that, but then, you know, I got a landslide of surveys today that were new that I hadn't read yet, and I could have ignored them because they were, you know, a bit late and kind of I didn't have time arguably, but I decided to make time and, you know, cuz I don't know, I want to know what you have to say. So yeah, if you could, you know, sort of the angels help me to be inspired with the survey earlier. Something like that. That would be helpful. Okay. I'm going to look at chat comments. All right. Hey, Janet can see and hear you from partly cloudy San Francisco, 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, almost 60 in February for you guys. Wow, that's nice. A luxury. Hey, Janet, I can see and hear you from Las Vegas, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool info about the astrology topic. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, this year in Chinese astrology is the firehorse, year of the firehorse. Dun, dun, dun. And apparently, like, it could be the year of the horse, but the year of the firehorse is apparently especially unique. So, rock on. And it's supposed to have to do with like bold changes. Rah rah. Bold is like one of my favorite words in the English language. Someone says, Janet, it might just be me, but your sound just cut out. I can see you talking. Ooh, I hope it's just you. Let me know other people. Oh, someone said close YouTube and restart. Isn't that weird? Why should you have to do that? Lorenzo, what? So it's messed up? No, it's not. And it looks like it's fine on my end. Oh. You want me to leave the app and come back? Huh. All right. Oh, weird. Okay. Okay, so if you don't have sound, you can't hear me, and my mouth is just going, but you can't hear anything, close YouTube and come back. Because someone in chat said they had to do that, and my husband said he had to do that too. Which is ridiculous. I mean, you know, come on, YouTube. Get it together. You're like a gazillion-dollar company. What's your deal? Really? I mean, whatever. But anyway, so let me know if you've ever had to do that in someone else's live stream. I mean, I guess it wouldn't just be my live stream, I suppose. That would be too weird. All right. Well, cool. So pre-healing chat, more pre-healing chat comments. Someone said they also had to restart YouTube. I can hear you now. God, that's weird. Oh well. Whatever. Whatever. I guess you guys are really savvy YouTubers now. Okie doke. So I don't think I need as much quiet this time before I start. Maybe just a minute or two. We'll see. So I want to get my paperwork where I have everybody's names so I can see the names in case I need to look at individual people. Trying to change my background image. I have so many choices. It's like, where's the one I want? one's fun. Let's do that one. Kitten time. You know, I actually have a kitten in the house. He's so huge, though. There we go. Alrighty. Kitten cuteness. Kitten cuteness for everyone. Okay, so let's do the 5 essentials, and we won't explain as much. What are the 5 essentials? This is only explaining. I will do 5 essentials is grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair, and back of head repairing and unblocking. Let's do it. So recreate both your groundings. You have to make them red or orange or yellow, both the same color. Test them, see which releases the best for you. Bring your grounding up high as your 3rd chakra, which is right under your sternum. Make a copy out in front of you of your everything. All your auras, your physical body and your astral body are inside there. Your groundings, make your groundings go up high as your 3rd chakra. Make them wide as all your auras. Home through. Use gold light from your hands. Gold light coming out of your hand chakra and your fingertip chakra. Okay, you set them to gold with your intention. Gold light. Some people have like a section where a relative can come in and change stuff in their grounding. I would recommend cleaning that out. It tends to be in the back, like somebody's got a little secret entrance. You know, it's a person, you know, but they'll have like a secret entrance, and then they can, you know, yank around your grounding or put ideas in there and influence you. So just check for, especially in the back of your grounding, for any sort of rooms of influence that other people have created for themselves. And melt those away. Melt the people out of those rooms of influence in your grounding. Control rooms. Could be a boss, a former boss, could be a relative, like an aunt or an uncle, or I don't know, a bossy parent or sibling, or your spouse. Hopefully not, but it could be. Don't melt them out. Melt the room out, and just strengthen the outer surface of your grounding. So it's flowy, but it's got a lot of gold to it. So it's that rainbow color, but then there's this gold kind of strengthening you're giving it. So that you're more likely to be like, hey, this is mine, you know, and not let people do what they want with it. It's just melt everybody out of the outer surface of your groundings. Take some deep breaths. Just admire how much you're releasing all at once right now. Let's jump to aura repair. First check, do like a check for what areas of your auras are ripped. Maybe behind your neck, maybe lower back, maybe around your knees. Maybe in front of your face, maybe in front of your tummy, maybe up your head. So if you had time and you just felt like it, you could do local repair of each area. That works fine. But let's do composite copy technique and repair them all at once. And then, you know, you could double check, see if you got those areas fully, the ones you noticed. So just create an image of a rip and have, with your intention, have that represent all the rips in all your auras that you have right now. And if you're in a private location, you could just do the WoW version of it and just use so much gold light that you burn everything out of the rip, like all invasive beings, invasive people, hard objects. You use gold light only, you know, so it's like good karma, but get everybody out of the rips and repair it all with the same gold light. Just so much gold light that everybody's getting out. And say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are or were anywhere near these rips? Recycle, angels, please recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair. Keep using gold light. And for the a couple leftover rips that you might have, I'll do it the other way, with sticky gold wax. So you imagine a new image of a rip and say, okay, well, this represents any leftover rips that I may still have in my auras. And then to clean out this one, you could just use sticky gold wax, which is less of a wow version. So like if you were in a place that's safe, but it's not like as private as, say, your home, you know, this might be the better way to do it because it attracts less attention, less dramatic looking on a spirit level. So just sticky gold wax, use sticky gold wax, fill it up with sticky gold wax, have that the wax stick to everything that's not you, lift it out all at once. So hard objects, invasive beings, invasive people. The angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk at once, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Yeah, so angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? And just keep using gold light so that it all repairs. Sometimes you have to use a lot because the energy just gets really compressed around the rip sometimes. All right, check the outer surface, see if you missed anything. You want it cold, bouncy, and flowing. You see if you have any leftover aura hardness either on the edges or like maybe a couple layers inside. You might have some hardness, so you can just pile up all the aura hardness that's left over that you have. Because hardness is a weakness in your aura. You always want flow that's stronger. So pile up all the aura hardness and use gold light. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are connected to this stuff? And then just keep using a lot of gold light to melt all the aura hardness away. All right. Good job. So you can redo your gold buffer zones. You can really quickly repair all your gold mesh spheres. Those are 15 of your auras are called Wei Qi auras. They relate to the meridians, like each of the regular meridians, and some of the extraordinary meridians have their own aura that keeps them protected and safe, filled with gold light, and then the gold mesh spheres generate that gold light. So they're just they're all around you, this gold mesh, and if it gets ripped up, then it doesn't work to generate gold light. So lots of gold light. And just have your intention be that the gold light's going to find the gaps, the missing empty spots in your gold mesh spheres so that they grow back. And then you can double check the 1 or 2 spots or several spots maybe that you noticed that you had aura damage. Have a copy of your everything out in front of you and kind of look, say if behind your neck was a spot that was really messed up, just double check that all those auras are repaired, because there could be like one more that's kind of stubborn and it's still damaged somewhere. So if so, just, flame the whole, like say it's a deep gash, just flame the whole gash with lots of gold light. Just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? And then just let it grow back and let the gold mesh spheres regrow. And if you have any other localized spots, double check them. Any sort of trouble spots that you had noticed that had aura damage, just double check. See if maybe you have a leftover rip. Just use lots of gold light and just say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? Burn up the hard objects in the way. Gold light. And let the gold mesh spheres regrow. Let the auras repair fully. All right, good job, good job. So that was grounding and then aura repair. So then now we'll do the rest. Creative rings and chakra repair. And then back of head stuff. Okay, so creative rings up here, 1, 2, 3, 3 gold rings, right? And they generate gold light, which then gets sent down and helps out your major chakras, like your spine, and it's just a nice gold force field right here too. So just imagine a copy of your 3 gold creative rings out in front of you, and use so much gold light that you're unblocking them. We're going to work them actually a lot later on in the healing. So this is just a basics thing of getting them repaired. If there are any cracks or, just missing chunks. Use so much gold light that they grow back. You say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this healing of the creative rings, can you recycle them? Sticky gold wax. Your creative rings have the sticky gold wax gold light from your hands. Stick to whatever's not you. And then it forms a chunk of junk, and then lift that out, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So sticky gold wax all around your creative rings. Have it stick to everything that's not you. Lift it out. Angels, here you go. And you may have just a couple extra cords. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings cording my creative rings, can you recycle them? All right. So, like I said, we will continue creative ring work later. So chakras. Chakra repair is the basic chakra shape, an open cylinder. So you can make an image of a chakra out in front of you, say with your intention, okay, this represents all my chakras, major chakras, minor chakras of my body and my spirit, including all the cool acupuncture points. Those are chakras. So just use a lot of gold light. Melt cords from people. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are cording my chakras? You may have hard objects stuck in your chakras. You can just like push them out with the gold light and let them explode. You may have hard energy blocks on either side of your chakra or around it or stuffed inside it. You can just lift out all those energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of and melt them all away. Lift out the blocks, melt them all away. Emotions, right? We want to help heal your emotions. Part of that is getting rid of emotional burdens and baggage that you haven't yet cleared yet, or maybe someone dumped in your space and you didn't clear it, right? So we still have the copy of all your chakras. Lift out the emotional junk that is healthy and gentle to clear right now, and just lots of gold light. Melt everybody out of it. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this clearing, can you recycle them? And just melt it all. Lift out the emotional junk, like burdens or baggage that you haven't yet cleared that would be good to clear right now. Melt it all away. Lots of gold. Sexuality. Any blocks to your sexuality. So sexuality is also, you know, I think people think generally when I say sexuality of like orgasms and having sex with people and that, or you know, having a sexual experience with just yourself. But it also has to do with, you know, your sense of yourself, your sense of, you know, your gender, your enjoyment of your body, sensuality and sexuality. Also just the hormones, sexual hormones, like the functioning of, you know, the energy centers and meridians in your body related to sexuality also help, you know, so we could just call it sexual wellness, which includes orgasms and all the fun stuff, but also, you know, any burdens, any way that you need to heal, you know, which could be from trauma or whatever, that's fine, you know, we can do it. So we'll do what's healthy and gentle, right? So you have a copy of your chakras out in front of you. Lift out anything in the way of your sexual wellness that is healthy and gentle to clear right now. Lift it all out and say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this, can you recycle them? And melt everybody out and melt it all away. Okay, so lift out any, from your chakras, lift out anything in the way of your sexual wellness that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. Lift it out. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? Melt everything out. Melt everything, all the people. Melt the bag. Lift out anything in the way of your sexual wellness. And just use lots of gold light and melt all the baggage. So do a little extra repair now that all that junk is gone. Words from people. All right, good job. Back of head stuff, right? So we'll take a temporary break from the kitten worship here. All right, make this smaller. Okay, so back of head stuff. So the meridians that go through the back of your head, there are 3 of them. That midline one, that's GV, governing vessel meridian. So with all the meridians, you heal them the exact same way, just gold light. And you can notice what color they are now energetically. And if they're black and crusty or white and crusty, that's obviously a big sign that they need healing. Any kind of crusty is not a good thing, right? So you just want to use lots of gold light until the red flowiness comes back. And if this area is like chronically weird for you, even though you already repair all those the 5 auras that are the most critical for this area, the ones that relate to these meridians, and then your astral body, your physical body. You could have some damage in an aura that you're not expecting, like that's not one of the 5, because you have, 17 auras, so it could be one of the others. So worst case, you have to go through all of those extra Wei Qi auras and double check. But so you can just imagine if you have any rips back here still, just imagine all those rips at once and then just use so much gold light. And just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? But it can be really weird ones that you wouldn't expect that are damaged back here. Like other day I had some real stubborn weirdness back here, and so I checked all of them, and it was like conception vessel meridian Wei Qi aura, which is kind of weird because conception vessel's up the front, but that had some damage back there. The heart meridian and the pericardium meridian, which are like up here down your arms, that had some damage back there. And also the liver meridian was like completely ripped up back there. The liver meridian, like it starts in the foot, I think, and it goes all the way up to the side right here. So, but whatever, it was all ripped up back there. So the point being just that, it could be any aura that you have damage with, although the 5 are usually the most typical. So if you notice any hardness back here in these auras behind your shoulders, head, and neck, just, be nice to these auras. Be extra nice because they're really important. Really important place back. And part of that importance is the good karma windows. And this is the typical shape of one of those windows. It's like a triple frame window. So you have 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me show. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 is in each of your astral body aura layers. And you can double check each one individually, or you can just heal them all at once if you don't trust your intuition. But I like intuiting which ones are messed up and which ones aren't, so I can kind of make sure I get things right. That's another thing that can contribute to, weird feelings back here and tension is because if something's damaged, then it, invasive energy can come through it and just bug, attached to the back there. So if you have any invasive energy that has come through these windows and is getting further in your space, just freeze it, lift it out, angels, here you go. Freeze it, lift it out, angels, here you go. Freeze it, lift it out, here you go. And then just do more repair so that and if you have any, if doing that feels weird, what generally that is you can make an extra grounding for your base of skull area. Red grounding for your base of skull area all the way down to the core of the earth. But if doing the clearing feels weird, a lot of times what that is there is 1 or 2 invasive beings that are like half in, half out because of your clearing. And it's like you're feeling their discomfort. So it's kind of like it is a little uncomfortable, but you're sort of feeling their presence. So you could just say, angels, if there are any invasive beings still in this area, can you recycle them? And then give yourself a little back of head massage while you do it. Also, fun fact, I saw a video on I mean, I don't know it's 100% true, but I think it might be, that to help hair growth, one thing you could do to encourage hair growth is scalp overhead massage. So it's not like this where you just like get really in depth. It's like you move your scalp like that, any which way. And supposedly it encourages blood flow. And so you do it like 1 or 2 minutes every day. And I think it works, actually. Fun fact. Oh, a little. So I'll try to make that its own chapter. That's a little fun fact about if you need to have more full hair and less hair loss. So, while you do that, you can maybe, heal your scalp. You could, as you do the scalp overhead massage where you're moving your scalp around, um, you can think of the energy flow just beneath your scalp and, where your hair follicles are and stuff, and just, like use gold light, and you want it to be red and flowing at that, the level of the skin and just below the skin where the hair follicles are and everything. And it could be black and crusty. So just as you do this anyway, you're going to have your hands here anyway. So you could just send gold light to that whole region, of your scalp and just beneath it. And just use lots of gold light. And if any part of it is you're not red and flowy, then just focus a little extra on that. And you can say, if there are angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this scalp healing, can you please recycle them? So how about that? A little impromptu scalp healing. All right. Rock on. So we're done with the 5 essentials. And we did scalp healing. Oh my gosh. How amazing. Okay, so this is one of the 3 things that we're doing after the 5 essentials. This one is the one that's focusing on melting away denial in order to inspire progress. And so the image that the angel showed me, which I think is kind of interesting and effective too, and very non-technical, so it's very like all levels friendly, is that you imagine, stay present and everything, but you imagine any of your denial from any past life or this life that's healthy and gentle to clear right now, that will help you to, have progress in your life and everything, if you clear it. So imagine that denial, the stuff that's good to clear right now, as a house, and the denial from this life is one room in the house, and there are a lot of rooms in this house, for any lifetime that has leftover denial baggage in it that you haven't yet finished clearing is another room in your house. So just notice your house and how many goddamn rooms are in that house, your house of denial. And you can imagine yourself in the current life room, of denial, because the denial, it kind of does trap you, And this is just denial that's healthy and gentle to clear right now. So we could call it an unhealthy, house of unhealthy denial. How about that? If we're going to be really, it sounds cooler to say house of denial, but house of unhealthy denial is a little more precise, but less cool sounding. So that's automatically the stuff that would be good to get rid of right now, that is in your way, that's, it should go ideally. So just imagine and just kind of notice, what does this house look like? How does it feel to you? Like, how many rooms are we talking about of leftover denial from different past lives? And notice yourself in the denial room from this life, the unhealthy denial room. And so the only thing to do is really melt it. But you can say, angels, can you double check this house to make sure it's good to totally melt all this right now? And angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are linked to any of this stuff? And also, we'll go ahead and clear agreements too, because you may have some agreements, like say with I saw somebody the other day, they had agreements with like some kind of past life restrictive religious organization that they were a part of, and that agreement was like holding them back, so you can make a pile of any agreements that relate to this house of denial, with all the different rooms from the different lifetimes. So any leftover agreements with organizations or people or whatever, that say, you got to keep this denial forever or whatever, that's most likely what the agreement says. But anyway, so you can just, the angels, can you help me clear all this? And just use gold light and melt all the agreements. So that way it's typically a lot more gentle experience, because there's no more agreement saying that you need to keep it. So again, double check if there are any agreements saying that you got to keep all this denial or any of this denial. Just imagine those agreements out in front of you, maybe as paper or some other way you like to imagine them. And just use gold light, say, angels, help me clear all this. And if you're unsure, say, angels, help me sort through these agreements and take away the stuff that I shouldn't clear right now. But I don't think there's anything like that. And sometimes people have all this doubt, so you can always build in a safeguard to reassure yourself. Okay. So, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are going to make this overly dramatic? All right. So then just melt your house of denial. Melt your house of unhealthy denial. You can melt it all at once or not. Just melt room by room, whatever's fun for you. It could be that once you melt a couple rooms, the rest kind of melt more. Kind of like if you're pulling, loose threads out of a fabric and then it all undoes. It all unweaves itself. So again, you can imagine your house of unhealthy denial that you have from any lifetime, if there's more. Just imagine it in front of you. Angels, is it okay to clear all this? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? If there are any agreements, just imagine them and say, angels, help me clear these. And then go ahead and melt your house of unhealthy denial, all the different rooms. All right, good job. Woohoo! So sorry I didn't get rid of the explaining. I'll fix that later. All right, good job. Okay. So with this one, we're going to imagine what's holding you back as physical objects. So it's easy to imagine, and it's like it can be easier that way to intuit, like, what is it from? And then, when you melt it, it's much easier to know you're doing it potentially, or much more enjoyable maybe, if you imagine it as like a physical object. So I guess first just double check your grounding and make it nice and wide, both of them nice and wide, red or orange or yellow. Bring it up high as your third chakra, and unblock your grounding out in front of you. Make a copy out in front of you. Unblock your auras, your chakras. Block your auras above your head. Okay, so we talk a lot about when you're on your spiritual path, you want to be moving forward in life, right? And literally forward on your spiritual path. So you can just imagine yourself. You don't have to imagine the path and everything, but just imagine an image of yourself and imagine what's healthy and gentle to clear right now that is holding you back, just in general. And so, like, you want to walk forward, you're pointing in the right direction, but something is holding you back. So you can't move forward. So just imagine some simple visual representation of what it looks like. Maybe it's a piece of clothing that just like is drawn backwards, or maybe it's a chain that holds you back or something. So just imagine something that's healthy and gentle to clear that's holding you back from making progress in your life. And you can intuit, who is it from? Is it from this life or a past life? All that's good stuff. And you can just use a lot of gold light. You could say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings linked to this stuff? And then you can just ease whatever it is off of you, or melt it fully with gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you can again heal that image of yourself. Maybe bring up some earth energy to soothe yourself. So again, we'll do it maybe 2 more times. So imagine an image of yourself, and imagine that you're pointed in the right direction, but you just can't move forward and make progress. So imagine it as a physical, easy to imagine object, whatever energy is holding you back from making progress. And just imagine whatever that is. And as you run gold light through it, you can intuit, if you want, who is it from? Is it just your own baggage from a past life? Is it, baggage from a traumatic experience of yours? Is it something someone just put in your space at some point? And just use a lot of gold light. If there's any agreements with it, just let the gold light melt the agreements. And go ahead and melt the object. You can say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way, can you recycle them? And you can use so much gold light that it melts. But if you prefer, or if it doesn't melt fully, you could just ease it off of you with lots of gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And give yourself another little healing. And then one more time. We'll do it one more time for now. Imagine if there's something else that's healthy and gentle for you to clear right now, that if you cleared it, it would make it a lot more likely that you could move forward right now and make progress. Maybe even faster, positive progress. So imagine whatever it is holding you back from making progress, and imagine it as a simple object and run gold light through it. And as you're running gold light through it, you can intuit where it's from, who it's from, what lifetime it's from. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of me clearing this, can you recycle them? And if there are any agreements related to having this in your space, just let the gold light melt the agreements as you're melting the object. And the object may have already melted. If so, you could start on another one. That's healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. And if it's still there, you can ease it out with gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, so notice yourself on your spiritual path, and how are you moving forward now as opposed to like 5 minutes ago before you did that? All right, good job, good job, good job. You are amazing. Woohoo. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 sections which I did not explain and preview ahead of time. Before the healing started. These 2 sections will heal. We'll imagine gardens, and then you heal the gardens in whatever way you want. So we'll imagine one garden for your emotional wellness, and then when we're done with that, we'll imagine one garden for your sexuality, sexual wellness, and we'll heal that one too. And I think it might be interesting to imagine it as a garden, because you might kind of be surprised. There was this funny example the angels reminded me of that one time I was reading somebody and I had them imagine their sexual wellness as a garden. And they imagined their bushes really neatly trimmed. There were these really neatly trimmed bushes, like perfect hedges that were like kind of rigid. It was kind of a funny image to have, it was very telling, of like sexual repression to have, but in just sort of the sexual metaphor of like the bush and everything. It was funny. But it was like sometimes you can see something about your emotions or your sexuality by imagining it as a garden that you might not acknowledge otherwise. So hopefully we can keep our sense of humor as we do this and keep things effective but also enjoyable to work. So let's do it. That was explaining. So let's do it. Okay, so you can imagine. I guess I should change the thing to probably a garden image, right? No, I guess the kitten vibe is so good. So we'll keep the kittens. The good heart chakra thing. Anything cute. Helps the heart chakra. If you think it's cute, you're like, oh, and that your heart chakra opens up more. So, okay, so just imagine a garden that represents your emotional wellness and, notice something about it as you're working it, kind of learn about your emotions as you work your emotional garden, your emotional wellness garden. And maybe there's a part of it that you really like, and you can notice, maybe it's because you did some work on your emotions, or maybe you journaled, or maybe just a part of your emotions are just pleasant and already strong. And then you can just like help that vibe to sort of grow in your garden as you clear out stuff that you don't particularly care for in your emotional wellness garden. Just melt it away. And you can notice the stuff that you don't particularly want in your emotional wellness garden, like is it dumped energy from somebody? Is it trauma from some old experiences of yours? And you can just say, angels, help me clear this in a healthy and gentle way. And you can add to those areas too, like sort of maybe be inspired by the areas of your garden that you already like and, add some kind of cool energy to these other areas of your garden. So it's like you're clearing and nourishing these areas that need help, your emotional wellness garden. And you may have some people in your emotional wellness garden, and some people really mean well, but maybe like they really annoy you because they point out things about you that but you don't want to be told. So look for that. We could look for some annoying people in your emotional wellness garden. Annoying in that you are annoyed. When they either subconsciously or consciously comment on your emotions. So maybe your resistance is keeping them in your garden, or maybe they're just being invasive and for some reason you don't have great boundaries with them. So just melt away the invasive people that you feel are annoying in your emotional wellness garden. Just use cold light, melt them away. If they're not leaving, you could just say, angels, can you take these people out of my emotional wellness garden? Can you help me to have strong boundaries with these people and take them away? And there could be people that you really enjoy in your emotional wellness garden, and they don't really belong there. Like there are fun places where you can hang out on the astral with your friends. Like the part of you that doesn't come into your body ever, like the astral part of you, could hang out with your angels and some of your friends at some point if you want, while you're busy doing your day and you're present otherwise. Or you could meet them on the astral, but them being in your emotional wellness garden is gonna not help you get stronger and evolve. So you can just ask your angels to help them out, or just say, hey, I need breathing room here so I can get stronger. And thanks for your support, but I need the breathing room. And just so if they mean well, they'll probably just leave with that little gentle suggestion. If not, you can use a lot of gold light and pop them out. So again, also admire the parts of your emotional wellness garden that are strong and vibrant and already healthy. And you can say, angels, can you give my emotions a healing? And just see if you notice any changes in your garden as you take your deep breaths and let your angels heal your emotions. All right, great job. Woo! So this one is we're doing a sexual wellness garden, right? So you can imagine your a garden that represents your sexual wellness, and see if you notice signs of repression anywhere in your unhealthy repression in your sexual wellness garden. And if you do, and you don't want unhealthy repression in your sexual wellness garden, you can go ahead and melt it away. And just put some joy in there if you want, your joy or your whatever, your fun, your innocence, your playfulness, whatever energy you want to have in your sexual wellness garden. Whatever energy of yours you want in your sexual wellness garden. And during sex with somebody, these gardens do tend to merge temporarily, and that's normal and healthy, but it's a temporary thing. I guess unless you guys are a very sort of controlling couple, and then it's not temporary. But there's that expression, like, I think it's a song or something, like, "How can I miss you if you never go away?" Like, it could actually help your dynamic with your partner if you did, when things were not happening like that, that you just wash them out of your sexual wellness garden so that you have a nice vibrant garden for yourself and they have a vibrant garden for themselves. So then the merging is actually different than usual, so it's like an event, you know. So just you can wash out. And two, sometimes you have former partners in your sexuality wellness garden, your sexual wellness garden, or people even just that were unkind to you or judgmental in some way about your sexual wellness or your gender, or any way that you expressed yourself or chose to not express yourself, whatever. So you can just wash everybody out of your sexual wellness garden, so that at least, right now, if you choose to have it just for yourself, that is what is the case. You can say, angels, help me clear everybody out of my sexual wellness garden so I can be as healthy as possible. And if there is any fear in your garden about, the merging during sex that you have free will about, obviously, you can look for any fear in your sexual wellness garden, or any shame, or any anything negative like that that's not pleasant for you, and just you could wrap it up in a bunch of gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So you can lift out any fear or shame or guilt, or social expectations or rules from other people from your sexuality wellness garden, your sexual wellness garden, and just wrap it up in lots of gold light and say, angels, can you help me with all that? And again, just admire some part of your sexual wellness garden that you especially like. There's no doubt at least some part of your sexual wellness garden that is already strong and vibrant and well. So you can just admire that, and then add to the other parts of your garden so that you like other parts and they're stronger and more healthy. And you can say, angels, can you please heal my sexual wellness? And just watch your garden while your angels do that, and take some deep breaths. You don't have to watch your garden at the same time. You could just receive from your angels. All right. Good job, good job, good job. So we'll do some butterflies to celebrate that. Great job. I think now I will change the background for this next thing we're going to do. I'll do a one I haven't used in a long time. I think. This is an oldie. This is probably the first moving background that I used when I first realized, oh, wait a minute, I could do a moving background. And then some people thought it was too busy and it bothered them, so I stopped for a while. But it's back. So hopefully it works for you. If not, I mean, you can close your eyes while you're working anyway, so it'll be fine. Ooh, it's kind of fun. But if it does bother you, you can let me know in the survey. I won't have my feelings hurt. All right. Okay. So for this one, that background just cracks me up. So funny. I feel like I'm in a Disney movie or something now. So in order to help with inspiration, being inspired, inspiring progress, but just feeling inspired in general, or having inspiration, and intuition, which I think is related. Having more clear, more accurate intuition can help you to make more progress. And again, this can happen subconsciously too. So if you don't feel like $1,000,000 tomorrow and as inspired as you've ever been in your whole life, it could still be making progress. And then you could do more and build on it if you want. But yeah, it'll be good. Let's do it. So creative rings up here, 1, 2, 3, gold. Creative rings, they're part of your astral body energy system. They come and go with you as a spirit. And then 7th chakra, obviously in the top of your head. You have 2 of them, one for your physical body, one for your astral body. This is the shape, although it's way smaller. It's like that big in there. So it doesn't get in the way of your 6th chakra, which is behind there. So, and it doesn't go above your head unless you're really not well, then it can rise up above. If someone's controlling you, your 7th chakra can float, but we don't want that. So just imagine a copy out in front of you of your creative rings and your 7th chakras. And we're going to do a whole bunch of coolness. So unblock your 7th chakras with gold light from your hands. Unblock your creative rings. Your creative rings and your 7th chakra, all your chakras, all your major chakras have flaps. So this is what they look like when they're irritated, which we do not want them to look that way. We want them to be just a smooth outer surface, right? That would be a ring right there that has irritated flaps. So we don't want that. We want the flaps to relax and fall shut. So use enough gold light, melt enough cores that can happen. You could say, angels, are there any invasive beings cording my 7th chakras or my creative rings? Can you recycle them? And you can make a big purple grounding just for your 7th chakras and your creative rings. You can set your 7th chakras to your favorite shade of purple. And you can even play around with different shades of purple and just see which helps you to feel more in charge of your life, which shade of purple helps you to feel more wise at this point, more confident. And it can change. You can change it whenever you want, you know, the shades of color. And you could your creative rings are stacked, you know, pretty close to each other, 1, 2, 3. But you could have the copies, you know, separate them out in front of you. So one ring, one ring, one ring, and just turn them up so you see the undersides of them, and they're all separate. So they're not really separate here. It's just your copies are separate out in front of you, just so you can see the undersides much better this way. And check for scratches, check for weird, like, you know, sort of lint or stuff, you know, junk, burnt stuff. Of course, you want them just gold, so melt all the other junk off. You could say, if you notice any invasive beings, say, angels, can you recycle those invasive beings? Use gold light to heal up the scratches. Some of these scratches can be from past lives, past life injuries, I guess, energetic injuries. So you can just notice that as you repair them. It's not necessary to notice, it's just interesting. You can notice if one of the rings is a lot more messed up on the underside than the others, and just focus extra on that one. You might have some hard objects stuck in the underside of them that normally you didn't notice because you didn't, you know, spread them out like this and turn them so that you see the undersides really clearly. So if you do, just sticky gold wax the rings to get those hard objects off. Sticky gold wax the undersides of the rings and just lift off all the hard objects. Say, angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax the undersides of these rings, which you can do even if you can't see anything. And just lift off the wax with all the hard objects. Angels, here you go. And then heal the gashes that are left over once you remove the hard objects. And this can, we're doing 7th chakra and creative rings together for a reason because they're so close to each other, they're so interrelated. So as you're doing this repair, your creative rings generate more gold light, and a lot of that wants to come down. So if your 7th chakra is a little too blocked, it might feel weird. So you can have a copy of your 7th chakra also out in front of you, both your 7th chakras, and keep on blocking it, so that as your creative rings generate more and more gold light, it's a comfortable experience for you. Check for energy leaks coming out of the sides or the undersides of these creative rings. And if you have any energy leaks, chances are that attracted some invasive beings and maybe some invasive people. So you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings around these energy leaks? And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way of this repair? Go ahead and repair any energy leaks that you're noticing anywhere in your creative rings, but especially in the sides and the undersides of your creative rings. Repair the leaks. You can have a hard object that's like a plate that so it's level with it's like sort of on the surface. It's flat on the surface, on the undersurface of the creative ring. So it doesn't stick out like your average, hard object that just gets hurled at you. It's just like kind of stamped in there. So if you have any of those, like any flat hard objects that are on the underside of your creative rings, you can just use so much gold light that they pop off. And then you can keep using gold light to melt them fully. And if they don't melt fully, you can just gather them up. Angels, here you go. And then just, and if you have any agreements associated with any of these, any agreements in the way of you doing any of this fine tuning that we're doing, just stack up all those agreements. Say, angels, if I should clear these, help me clear them. And then just clear all those agreements with gold light. And just keep repairing where the flat hard objects were. Just use gold light. So it's a nice smooth undersurface that's all gold on your creative rings. One thing about creative rings is they help your 7th chakra, and both your creative rings and your 7th chakra are kind of like about individuality. And it's not that if someone has a 7th chakra, they're automatically gonna exercise their individuality and their unique identity. Sometimes people can have so much energy from other people. I mean, some people are just younger souls, and so it's not what they want to do in this lifetime to be unique. But some people, they maybe would want to. It's just they have so much junk in their creative rings and their 7th chakras that they don't exercise any of their individual ideals, and they just want to join a group. So you can look for anything like that. Any generally they're hard objects. Maybe on the outer sides of the creative rings, or the inner sides of the creative rings, or really anywhere on them, that artificially suppress your unique identity, your unique ideas, so that because you don't want other people to decide if you're going to individuate, right? It should be you deciding how many groups you want to be a part of and how independent and unique you want to be, right? And so just look and make it easy to see and detect any devices on your creative rings that are artificially controlling for you your unique identity. And just lift out those objects that are controlling your identity. And just use so much gold light. And you can say, angels, help me to clear any agreements associated with these devices. And just use so much gold light that the gold light you're using melts the agreements and melts these devices. These free will crushing devices. Independence crushing devices. And if they didn't fully melt, you can just round up whatever's left and say, angels, can you help me with all that? And then just go ahead and heal the creative rings, because there could be like little indentations after you remove the devices. So just let your creative rings be like a nice, healthy shape. You can stop watching them separately and just watch them as a copy that's a little more true to the way they are. You know, have the copy out in front of you of the 3 creative rings stacked up on top of each other. They have space in between, but you know, they're stacked on top. And just notice, you know, the 7 chakras and how the energy shoots up from the 7th chakra through the creative rings, and just see if all of it can go through, and does any of it have to divert because there are energy blocks in the way? If so, melt those blocks. Because you want it to be really easy for your 7th chakra to send your energy upward through your creative rings. And there could be energy between your creative rings and your 7th chakra, like some people's energy trying to, again, suppress your individuality, your identity, or like some new idea that you're trying to bring in. So look at that space in between your creative rings and your 7th chakras and just see, is there a stack of energy blocks right there, or, you know, junk from other people? And just use a lot of gold light. You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? And just go ahead and melt it all. And use gold light up and down your spine. And if you feel at all uncomfortable, it could just be energy blocks. Like, because that kind of work that we're doing, it gets you a lot more present. So then you feel the blocks that were there already. So just extra unblocking of all your major chakras, 7 through 1, up and down your spine, lots of gold light. And the other way that could make you feel a little uncomfortable is if there's some invasive being that's like halfway knocked out. And then that invasive being, you know, being halfway knocked out, it just feels uncomfortable for you. You could say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in my space making me uncomfortable in any way, can you recycle them? And just find some part of your body to massage if you want to, just because I think it's kind of a nice contrast, because what we did is kind of heady work, you know, and so, you know, like, you know, do some ankle rotations or some wrist rotations, or, you know, massage right here by liver 4, just that chubby part of your, you know, between your thumb and your forefinger right there. This whole area, liver meridian, the 4th point is right in there too. It's very important, helpful energy center. But just, you know, allow your body to adjust to what you have been doing, and allow yourself to adjust and get more present in your legs and all your major joints. Righty. Oh, good job, good job. Okie doke. So, we will wrap up the healing with this section, this final chapter of the healing. I'll make myself a little bigger, I guess. I'm trying to center it, but I'll have to accept that. Okay. All right, let's do it. So, make a copy of everything out in front of you. Gold light from your hands. Bathe all your space in a ton of gold light, especially your spine, because we did so much nice work with the creative rings and the 7th chakra. So, help the other major chakras to be just as fabulous. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. La 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 la. Unblock above your head. Unblock beneath your feet, beneath your butt, beneath your feet. Unblock all around your auras, around your shoulders, your neck, your face. All right, clear STEB. So just pile out in front of you any stubborn triggered energy blocks. That's what STEB stands for, stubborn triggered energy blocks. Pile them out in front of you. Any energy blocks that are still triggered on any level, pissing you off, annoying you, making you anxious, whatever, even subconsciously. Pile them all out in front and say, angels, can you check and see, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are corded to this junk? Breath while your angels do that. And then you can use a lot of gold light and melt cords from people going into these blocks, which could be why they haven't cleared yet. And melt cords from yourself into them. Melt your resistance, your avoidance, and your denial out of these blocks so that you can just get on with it and get these blocks out of your life. Melt them away or blow them up. You've gotten everybody out. All right, so we'll do that again much faster. STEBs. Put the STEBs out in front of you. Angels, can you check the pile? Can you recycle beings? Gold light, gold fire, blah, blah, blah. Melt the cords, get everybody out, including yourself. Melt them down. Destroy them or blow them up. Anything left over, wrap up in gold light. Give to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? All right. Spiritual path is a road that's just for you. Unless you allow people to push you around on your spiritual path, right? So we don't want that. So just imagine your spiritual path. It's just for you, right? And so are you on your path? Are you looking forward? If you're not on your path and you're lost on some side road, just say, angels, help bring me back to my path. Help, get me back on track. Right? And then are you looking forward? If you're not looking forward, give yourself a little healing so that you can realize which way is forward. And then unblock your path in front of you. We already did a lot of the behind you stuff in that chapter where we said, melt what's holding you back. So you could do a little more of that if you want. But then ahead of you, if there's any roadblocks ahead of you that are unhealthy, unnecessary. Just imagine them and melt them away. Maybe they look like big rocks. Maybe they look like walls. Whatever they look like, just melt them away. No time for drama. Melt all that stuff away. All right. Good enough. Now legs, unblocking your legs with gold bottle brush technique. Why not? How could we not? So imagine a copy of your legs out in front of you and imagine a nice bendy gold bottle brush and use it to clean out your leg channels and all the cool meridians that are in your legs. Just use the gold bottle brush so that it gathers up all the junk that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, and take that out. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Do the gold bottle brush. Same thing with the other leg. And get all that junk out. Angels, here you go. Double check. Are you heal your feet chakra a little extra in the arch of your feet so that you can bring up your red earth energy as much as you need? Check, double check. Is your ankles unblocked enough? Your feet chakra unblocked enough? Your knees unblocked enough so the earth energy, red earth energy, can keep coming up as much as you need? And up through your thighs into your first chakra and your kundalini chakra of your physical body. Unblock your first chakras and your body's kundalini chakra. Set them both to your favorite red. Make sure that earth energy, you're getting enough earth energy to come into the front of your first chakra and the front of your kundalini chakra. And just a reminder, your kundalini chakra, if you're feeling jumpy or wired, it could be damage to some chakras, but it also could be your kundalini's just turned on too high. Adjust your kundalini chakra so it is comfortable for you. And of course, turn it off when you're trying to sleep. And I do have videos on kundalini. You search Janet Wright Kundalini or just ask me to link my kundalini playlist of my favorite videos I've done on kundalini. I can do that. All righty. So that's a healing. You're a rock star. Woohoo! Yay! Great job, great job, great job. All right. Okay, so the healing is done. So I'll take a quick restroom break and you could too, and then I will come back, turn the camera back on, and do a little stretching. Just to remind everybody, including myself, that stretching is really important. And then we could have a little discussion time about energy healing topics. I'll read the chat comments, and you could comment on how the healing was for you, how you're feeling now since the healing. And if you have any comments about something that, relates to the theme or something I mentioned in this live stream, you can put it in the chat and I'll read it. If I don't have time to get to everything, then repost it in the comment section and I'll eventually be able to post a reply. Okay. So that's that. I will get rid of the camera while I am gone because that way you can see more flowers. Hey, back. So I'm going to do a little stretching. You could too if you want. Don't copy me. Just do whatever stretches you want. Just for a minute. And then we can do the chat. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you had a good break. Okie doke. I'm looking for comments I have not read yet. It says, hi, working tonight. Lots of snow expected overnight in New Hampshire, which is in the northeast of the United States. Lots of snow. How many inches? But I'm wondering. Well, hope you stay warm and safe wherever you are. It says, awesome healing of the creative rings and seventh chakras to help with individuality, especially for, you're mentioning your sons. Yes, for both of your sons, actually, were part of the inspiration for little bits of that. Of that section. Thank you for the sexuality part. Is very important to me to nourish as we age. Yes. Yes, why not? Someone says, thank you so much for the twin set. I am feeling a bit exhausted, like I need a physical and mental rest day. A little hard to do that with the kiddos, work and all. I am thinking of asking my angels to take me somewhere really comfy when I go to sleep at night. I want to make sure my sleep slide is good and see some invasive beings I just recycled. Also, I see some blue energy, but that seems pleasant. Was I accurate? Thank you. Yeah, I think one of your angels is showing as like a blue, and they're standing off to the side of your sleep slide, just to kind of show you that it's okay. They're going like this. So yeah, looks good. Now the interesting thing about the exhaustion, that you need a physical and mental rest day. I think that's larger than just like, okay, let me make sure I get good sleep. I think that there are tweaks in your whole life, that it's like a project, like how is your life mentally and physically exhausting? That is tweakable, because obviously the part about having 2 young sons to raise is a constant that you would like to keep. And but a lot of times your inner baggage is how it defines how you experience the external world. So you could keep the husband, keep the kids, keep even the schedule of, the basics of the schedule, like the work schedule, and you drive your kid here and whatever, on whichever day. But if you change your inner baggage and how you just nourish yourself, like if you change, like you have resistance to self-nurturing, you tend to sort of, you resonate more with like, okay, I got to make myself do this, and so the idea of just being gentle with yourself is not, I don't see you doing a lot of that, like on a subconscious spirit level. You're always trying to like push yourself harder. You're kind of like an overbearing parent with yourself. I know I've said that before, but so I think this whole thing of you saying I need an emotional and mental rest day is a bigger thing. And I think that it's good that you're aware of it because it's been true for years. And it's better to be consciously aware of it because then it's like you're closer to solving it. You're closer to addressing it. I hope that makes sense. So how can you do that? I guess just try to think of, what gentleness does my body need right now? What gentleness does my spirit need right now? It can be the difference between, whether you're listening to music or some news video, or whether you wear a certain color or a different color of clothing, or, subtle things that are tweakable, within your work schedule and your family schedule. Yes, the restful night is a great start, like improving sleep quality is always priceless. But I think it's daytime tweaks that are where there's so much room for improvement, like just in like even a subconscious attitude towards yourself. Like you're way more nurturing towards your sons than you are to yourself, which I guess is easy to fall into that pattern, very easy. If you weren't really that nurturing to yourself before you had kids, even then, it just kind of compounds. But it does seem like you wouldn't be a worse mother if you were more nurturing to yourself. It would maybe help you. It would help your kids a little bit indirectly, but it would. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, your angels just keep talking about gentleness and tweaks your attitude towards yourself and your body. Like kindness towards yourself. Hope that makes sense. And little tweaks. Music changes in what you watch, changes in a color that you wear, changes in, adding a fragrance to the room or not, or, little tweaks that are for you. So yeah, I think you're realizing some deeper things. Your angels are happy about that. This is, I find my dad a lot in my sexuality wellness garden, my sexual wellness garden. I keep clearing and do the angel assisted conflict resolution flowers. I think that's what that stands for. He is still in my space. I don't see agreements. Should I work on key stepping stone blocks? Good, interesting question. Let's yeah, it's not an agreement with your father, it's an agreement with your mother to have your father there. You know, she's like, let your father chaperone. You know, it's from when you were really little. Your father will protect you. You let your father watch over you. So you have like, it's from when you were like 5. So yeah, clear the agreements with your mother that relate to your father and your boundaries with your father. That's a good one. I'm sure that's not just you. That's a good one. Yeah. So you can try that, see how that is. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. But good observation about that, seeing your dad in your sexual wellness garden. Okay. Someone says, thank you so much for the healing, Janet. You're welcome. Feeling good going in, feeling good now. A reader told me, you mentioned this in your survey, a reader told me that it wouldn't matter whether or not I got a different job, which was discouraging. Yeah, I think, I mean, even, you know, me as a reader too, I would always caution people, I am not always right, you know, and I wouldn't read the future in part for this reason, because if human readers have inaccuracy built into the concept because they're human, then, and you're reading someone's future, it's like it gets a little bit hard for the client to not get a hang up about something that was inaccurate, or to like get codependent if something was accurate, you know, codependent on the reader. So that's, I guess, a big reason why I didn't read the future professionally speaking for people. And I never worked on really developing that skill much. Anyway, okay, so a reader told me that it wouldn't matter whether or not I got a different job, which was discouraging. I'd like more money, better hours, and a less busy on job. I wonder if it's not mattering because I just need to explore, and any job I take will just be to make money right now until I figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they had in mind about the whole thing about a new job won't make a difference. It looks like all the check boxes are checked for your current job, in which case, I mean, I suppose you could get a different position in your current job if you wanted to, or you could somehow, yeah, I mean, it seems like when you're done, you're done. So I don't see how it wouldn't make a difference in that context, you know, because if you're done learning something in a certain location, if you've learned all you can in a certain job, then why would you keep it? You know, I mean, even if you made the exact same amount of money or whatever, you know, it's just, you would get a different job. I mean, unless, yeah. So maybe it was your question, am I going to make more money in my new job? I mean, I don't know what your question was, that the answer was it won't make a difference. Because from a spiritual learning context, it would, of course, make a difference to have a new experience with new people. So yeah, I don't know. Your angels, if you put all that information from the reading onto a table, it looks like your angels keep like 2% of it, and then they shove the rest off the table. They say that when you ask them on a spirit level, should you go to that reading, they kind of gave you like that wobbly hand, like, you know, like there are pros and cons about going to get that reading. and they just figured that you were going to go anyway, no matter what they said. So they figured you could learn through, having empowerment and discernment and all that, and learning to evaluate the information that you heard from a place of non-judgment and free will. So that's that. I've personally, I've never gotten my future read on purpose. Like I wouldn't do it just for that reason that, I mean, but I ask my own angels about the future, but not like, I know that there's some things they don't want you to know, and there's some things that your angels will tell you, and then so if you just have your angels read you and read, if you're headed in the right direction and little things about your future, then they're just going to tell you what is okay for you to know. They're not going to, and they're more accurate. Of course, you might mishear them. That's always a thing. You have to keep that in mind. So, there's always imperfections in the process. So hope that helps. Someone says, we are expecting up to 24 inches of snow and potential flooding in New York. 24 inches of snow, so 2 feet of snow and potential flooding. Yipes. Well, stay healthy and safe and have the angels protect your buildings and your cars. Oh, boy. Someone says, hi, Janet. I was doing really well this week. Oh, good. And you said, thank you. But any pointers for me on how to not wig out again about your daughter is again because your daughter is in danger. So she's in a different country and there are flights canceled due to drama in that country. Well, I mean, it's always interesting to look at, okay, well, was this an accident like created by unnecessary internal baggage of hers or yours? Or is it an experience that she's really meant to have, to learn from? Or it looks like she was meant to have it, to learn from it. So, it is what it is. I mean, that's the thing too. A lot of times parents, it's natural to want your kid to have almost like a boring life that's so safe, because you don't want anything to happen to them, and like, parents get caught in this thing of like, you knew them when they were like little infants that, you had to make sure they were sleeping in the right position so they could, live through the night, that kind of thing. And so it just, you get kind of this mother hen sort of protective thing. But, if she needs to clear energy and learn, she needs to clear energy and learn. And so the funny thing is sometimes they will manifest situations where they're away from you enough and your energy is enough out of their space that then they can manifest what they need to manifest, So, it could be that ideally she might have manifested this 4 years prior, but, you had too much of your energy in her space, so she couldn't get it in because you had that mommy hen keeping your child safe kind of control energy around her. So I guess, I mean, she's clearly got some agenda of what she needs to experience in this life for her own reasons. So, I guess you can admire her courage, that these are experiences that she this, and then a different experience that, she had recently are experiences that she, wrote into her life for her learning. She's definitely not a chicken, not a, she definitely seems to be bold, which is kind of cool. So maybe just try to admire her. And just, remind your body that she's no longer like an infant, just like kind of hug yourself and talk to your uterus and your ovaries and just be like, okay, she's not an infant anymore. She's her own woman and she's manifesting and she has her own angels and she's clearly bold and courageous as a soul, like just kind of talk yourself off the ledge. Because I think sometimes, it's easy to forget that your kid is not you, and so what would be like a strengthening experience for your kid might be really different than what's a strengthening experience for you. So hope that helps. You could try that out of body meditation that I did today. It's a 16-minute walkthrough video, a separate one I did right before this live stream. And sometimes that's nice if you need to clear, panic and fear or really anything unpleasant, is to do an out of body meditation for it. So like you go off and do it, don't drive when you do it. Make sure you're home and safe when you do the meditation because it can make you sleepy. Just be comfy and do it. But that would probably be a good way, do that out of body meditation video from today. And some of the blocks that you clear, when the first half of it is like clearing energy blocks and when you're in a nice astral place with your angels. And so you could clear, whatever baggage is triggered by your daughter's bold life plan. Your gutsy daughter's life plan. Yeah. But you did pick her as your daughter. So somehow, and all this would have been known. If this is not accidental, then it would have all been known ahead of time. So when you were thinking of kids and you picked kids, this was all factored in. And so it's for your learning way. So I don't know if that helps you right now, but hopefully ultimately what I said helps. But she does have angels and she is absolutely working with her angels 100%. So no doubt about that. And she is on her path and she is moving forward right now. So that's all squared away. Someone says, when I close my eyes and look at myself, I think I see me beside myself, literally outside myself on the left and on the right. Doubtful. I close my eyes and look at myself. I think I see me beside myself, literally outside myself on the left and on the right. Yeah. So both of those can't be you, right? Because you're just one, not the other, right? You would just be one. So I guess you could just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are clouding my vision? Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in between me and my physical body? Because, yeah, you're just one. I guess one test too is you can handle like infinite amounts of gold light and the invasive being would not be able to handle infinite amounts of gold light. So you could, if you're really still confused, you can put a ton of gold fire around all of both of you, you and the fake you, invasive being. You can say, angels, can you remove the one that's not me and recycle it? Be good too. But if it's still an issue, you could, I don't know, put it in your survey or post it under the video later. But yeah, it's just you. You just are you. See, I'm looking. Oh yeah, okay. This is, I think you skipped my question. Oh, thanks for the heads up. Mm-mm. It's not showing up. I think you're going to have to post it again. Yeah, oh, you know what it is? God damn. Sorry for the swearing. But yeah, YouTube shows me top chat. Some messages, such as potential spam, may not be visible, as opposed to live chat where all messages are visible. So I actually have to force them to show me all messages. That's ridiculous. So let's see. I wish I could change that default. I'm still looking for your question, though. I still don't see it. Yeah, you're going to have to post it again because I don't see it. Maybe you accidentally didn't press enter afterwards or something, because all I see is the one lots of snow request, lots of snow expected tonight. That's it. Unless you used a different account, 2 different accounts post. But yeah, I don't see the other one, your other post. So yeah, you're going to have to post it again. And if you don't have time, then I guess just post it under. There we go. Okay. Feel calm, little anxious because I'm working. Am I in 7 through 2 on my path? And how did my spouse do? Okay. I'm glad you're feeling calm. That's cool. Little anxious. You know, you said in your survey you were feeling a little wired. That was your Kundalini was blasting too hard. There was no damage, but your Kundalini was like way over revved, and so that was giving you that wired feeling. It was the second comment. Yeah, no, it's not showing up for me. So, okay. But anyway, so a little anxious because I'm working. Am I in 7 through 2? You're in 7 through 3, actually, which is interesting. That's odd for you. You do have a very big cord going into the front of your 3rd chakra. It's not from your spouse, not from anyone on his side of the family, not from your mother, not from your brother. Seems to be a work person. So front of 3rd chakra, big cord. So you can melt that with gold light and then unblock your 3rd more, like 3rd layer in front and back. So now you're in 7 through 2. So now you have like right in front of your hotpants area, which that'll give me an excuse to put up my pretty biker shorts images, which I'm so in love with. They just crack me up. Oh, you know it would be fun. Well, I don't want to mess with it, but it'd be fun to have the like the glittery stuff and the biker shorts at the same time, like disco biker shorts. Maybe at the end I'll do that. But anyway, you have some hard blocks here in your 2nd layer of your physical body, 2nd layer right here. So that's why you're only in 7 through 2. But if you were to unblock your 2nd layer more right there, a little bit in the center and the left, then you'd be in 7 through 1 most likely, because you don't have chakra damage. Everything else has good flow, and your grounding is very nice. So yeah, it's just unblocking. There you go. Now you're in all your chakras. A little bit of a tight fit in your 1st chakra for some reason. Why is that? You have a cord going into your 1st chakra too. Someone from work. Front of your 1st chakra. Physical body 1st chakra. Yeah. You know, maybe what you could do is do more like earth energy soaks at work, like just leave the earth energy up, either red or orange or yellow, and just, you know, as if you're in like a forest and you're soaking in the earth energy. Because that could help like differentiate your energy from other people's energy and help to comfort your body so that your physical body is less likely to match the energy around you and less cortable. You could try that, see if that makes a difference for you. You know, more earth energy soaks at work, just leave them up. But yeah, now you're in all your chakras. You are looking forward and moving forward. Before, with the third chakra, with the big third chakra cord and the first chakra cord, you were kind of like, you were moving forward, but there was a zigzaggy forward thing that you were doing. Your husband did very well. He liked this one a lot. He liked the simplicity of today's healing. He liked the emotional wellness garden, actually, and the house of melting the house of denial. That is a good one. So yeah, he's doing well. He's moving forward nicely. All right, so going back up, because I probably skipped some in order to get yours, which I had supposedly skipped, but I never saw it. It didn't show up for me. All right, so going back, someone says, thank you so much for the feedback. I love it framed as what have I learned all. I love it framed as have I learned all I needed. Oh, about the job, yeah. I feel the same, that it is supported to move on. Yeah, I mean, if you've learned all you needed at the job, then why would you stay? I mean, it doesn't mean there's a rush to leave, you know, like, oh my God, I'm gonna, you know, any job, I'll take anything, just get out of here. It's just, you know, it's just that it's time to manifest your next thing. If you've learned everything already, you know, it's the whole point. I mean, then you could just time with your angels, you know, what's the best time. But I mean, it seems like they show me this thing that you're on track, you know, like you're on track with what you need to learn. You're taking astral classes about, you know, your next job and kind of getting more clarity on that. Because I don't know if you know exactly what type of job you want next or even your location. Or maybe you have picked the location, but it's a totally different location. So then there's the whole cross-country move concept. So that takes a little bit extra planning, and you could work your manifestation wings more. There's that long, it's a long video. It's like 47 minutes or something for manifestation wings, but it's in sections. So you could just do like the first section of it to get most of the benefit from it. You know, just do the unblocking, make sure they're powerful and generating a lot of gold light. That could help. But also you could keep redoing the 7th and creative ring work that we did today. That it'll be its own chapter. Because that's always nice for manifesting too. And maybe too, like there's a short video on, you know, repairing your 7th to 8th connection, I think, in that short video playlist. That would be a nice one too. So 7th to 8th connection, and then the creative ring and 7th chakra work from today. And then the whatever else I just said that I'm forgetting. But yeah. Okay, so someone says, thank you so much, Janet. Was really mellow from the denial house. Yeah, melting the house of denial. The house of denial. Sounds like a soap opera. And now back to the house of denial. I think, oh wait, was really mellow from the denial house until the end. Did wake up at 4:30 a.m. and did the 5 essentials video. There you go. Fell asleep deeply for 2 to 3 hours, but then woke up again with patient in my space. Maybe I could do the sleep slide video before I go to sleep, and then the 5 essentials whenever I wake up. Yeah, what did we, well, I think the thing is, yes and yes. I mean, I think it just rotate, you know, because I think if you did, I was really surprised that you don't do this, or wait, there was somebody else I was emailing who had, Oh, was it you? I don't know. But yeah, I think you can't do the 5 essentials too much. It's not possible. So so, yeah, definitely if you wake up, it's a good time to do it. If you feel like I mean, sometimes you just wake up because your bladder was full and you know you're gonna fall asleep and have deep, phenomenal sleep, so then don't bother, of course. But if you wake up and you feel like, yeah, there were some boundary issues or there are some boundary issues going on, then sure, 17 minutes of that and have some great sleep afterwards. That's a good bargain. But yeah, I mean, just use your intuition. But I think both of those videos are good. This funny, the sleep slide one, I'm blanking on what the heck else it has in it because I know it's not just sleep slide. What is that one that we did? I did. Yeah, I don't remember. My mind doesn't hold on to information very well. It chooses to let go of it. But yes, any sleep side work is a good thing. But see, I think the thing is, if the more you do your 5 essentials work and potentially that video, the good thing about that video, the experienced version 5 essentials video that I made 3 days ago, is it's thorough. It kind of pushes you, because I was kind of in a punchy mood when I made it, and so there's a little bit of that like loving drill sergeant vibe in it, like go find all the stuff in your grounding that nobody wants you to see and get rid of it, and so it kind of pushes the envelope, I think, and so it if you use it I mean, it's up to you, but it seems like your angels would like you to use it every day, no matter what, and maybe twice a day even, just for it until you get used to like pushing the envelope yourself in your own freestyling, or just keep using it, but it just seems like, I think for you, you're like, well, if I have damage, I'll use it. But the idea is if you do it before you get the damage, and then you're just strengthening. You're just unblocking more and more, and you're getting more and more present. So it's like you're rather than no damage, damage, no damage, damage, you're going and improving your strength, more strength, more strength, more strength, And so it's like going deeper into the plus category. The more you do it. So up to you, but yeah, your angels like it. And I don't think there's a definite rule, just the more is better. More is better is what they're saying. Someone says, thanks, Janet. That was super helpful and reassuring. Ah, yes, about your bold daughter and her bold manifestations. Ta-ta. Very good to know she is working with her angels. She is 100% working with her angels. Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, because if this is something that she was meant to go through, then it's so pre-planned and they're like already ready for it and she's ready for it on a higher level. And, so it's all good. The vibe I get is like Doctors Without Borders, that group. It's like the people that work Doctors Without Borders, that level of bravery is just so impressive and cool, I kind of get like a Doctors Without Borders vibe with her, like what she's trying to like train herself to be really good under pressure, or really good in the face of, un surprising, things that you didn't consciously expect, So yeah, she's definitely getting herself, bringing in her bravery and her courage with this in a way that it's got to mean something, for further down her path in this life. So pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see see what evolves with this bold woman who is your daughter. All right. Someone says, I use the skeleton a lot while you teach us. Skeleton a lot while you teach us. I'm being Yeah, I do not know what you mean by I use the skeleton a lot when you teach us. I'm being bullied by, you mentioned two people. What can I, was the strong boundary technique to you? Either you don't proofread what you're typing, or you're just driving and talking into the phone and you're hoping that I don't know what, but yeah, some of that doesn't make sense. What can I add to strong boundaries technique? What can I use maybe besides the strong boundaries technique to heal myself? Well, the whole thing about I'm being bullied, I would watch phrasing like that because it's like sort of baked in. It's a there's a chance that you might be painting yourself as a victim, and kind of like with that woman and her daughter, you can look at, okay, well, is this something that I manifested that's like an unhealthy, unnecessary drama, because of some inner blocks or something, or somebody lobbed some garbage on my spiritual path. And so this manifested and this is happening. Or is this something that I'm really meant to learn from? It's like an actual, meant to be kind of a thing, you know? Because I think if you take out the word bullying, and just that, okay, well, these people are throwing energy at me, you know? Because the whole bully thing, it evokes like a childhood imagery sometimes, and so it might stop you from being more empowered and neutral about it so that you can be more wise. So that's the first thing I notice is just that bully word. You might want to stop using that. It's up to you, obviously, but it's up to you. It just whatever. So, but anyway, so these people are being aggressive. So the question is it meant to be? Like, is this a definite part of your learning, or is this some drama that you could have skipped had you unblocked more, or whatever? So is it skippable drama or meant to be learning? Seems like it's meant to be learning. So then you want to learn, right? So you want to think, okay, well, what am I meant to learn from this experience, where these people are throwing energy at me, right? So the question is, are you like how many check boxes? You could do it like that, like the other person who, all their check boxes were checked because they're done with their job spiritually. They've learned all they need to learn at that job. So how many check boxes of learning are you meant to learn with this situation, with you and those two people? Notice how I didn't say those two bullies. I just said those two people, right? And so it looks like there are 10 check boxes, and you've checked 4 of them off. So you've learned some things, almost half of what you're meant to learn so far with this, but there's more for you to learn. So I would just say kind of study it, learn how, have you improved somewhat already in your boundaries with them? What auras tend to get damaged when they throw at you? Maybe those auras are too blocked chronically. Maybe it doesn't look like there's any part of you kind of like egging them on, because sometimes people have walled off parts of them that are like shit starter parts that are like screaming at the other people, and so the other people like almost forget about them, and then the shit starter part of you like screams at them, and then they do it all over again. But it doesn't look like you have a shit starter part of you in this. But it does look like you keep kind of doing something to them, like you keep encroaching on something that is not yours to encroach upon, that they think is theirs to manage, but it's definitely not yours. You keep going over there to do it, and then they keep, so in that way it's a bit of a shit starting thing accidentally. I guess you just sometimes you do things like, oh, I'll go here and I'll ground this, or I'll go here and clean this out, or I'll go here and manage that. And it's not really like karmically, you don't have permission to do it, but you just kind of, you see something and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, why not? That needs to be done. That needs to be done. So there's some way in which, you know, so you can ask your angels, you know, angels, help me to back up and only do what I'm meant to do in this situation, and nothing that, you know, is beyond what I'm karmically allowed to do. So I think that would be a big, once you stop doing that, whatever extra thing it is you're subconsciously doing, maybe even consciously doing, then that would check some more of the boxes. And then maybe just there's some witchy auras that are chronically blocked that they keep nailing, that rip a lot when they get thrown stuff at. So just figuring out which witchy auras keep getting damaged so easily when they throw stuff, and, you know, working on them regularly. So I hope that helps. Righty. Someone says, how encouraging. Thanks for the extra video recommendations. You are welcome. Welcome, you're welcome. Okay. So, let's see. Do I have any random life stories? Maybe just one or two. But I do want to see that. Oh, actually, I do have a couple. Yeah, all right. I do have a couple. I want to add something. I want to add that, okay, wait. Gotta get it right. Yeah. There. Oh my god, that's gotta be the tackiest, most fun thing. Oh, that's so hilarious. All right, I'm sure that is annoying to somebody, but I hope you forgive me. I think it's the best thing I've ever seen. Don't worry, I won't do this for every live stream, for every part of every live stream. But if you have any feedback on it, you could put it in your survey. Anyway, okay, random life stories. Okay, the tea I'm drinking today, that's somewhat interesting. I already had 1 cup of it, and I would be drinking this more, but it's still too hot. I made myself more in the break. But it is half and half. A Tulsi tea, like one of the, I'm gonna have to get the bags. Okay, so it's a half of a tea that's too cooling for me and half of a tea that's too warming for me, so that they balance each other out so I can actually drink it. And knock on wood, I think that's true, because I've had it before, the mix, and it's worked out well. Usually I can't tell immediately if it's, I can tell a little, but I can't really tell until like that night, and that's when I'm either too cold or too hot. But anyway, so this I think is going to work out well. It's lemon balm is the one that's too cooling for me, because I'm very picky about cooling and warming. I mean, it's cooling, but I can't handle things that are cooling usually. And then this Tulsi tea, Rama Tulsi, which I'm not a connoisseur in Tulsi teas, but I actually got two. One is like Krishna Tulsi and this one is Rama Tulsi. So I think this one is the one that is not supposed to be a stimulant, but I don't really remember, but I just picked one. And my angels were like, good enough. But I have the other one in the pantry. But these are so huge, they don't even fit well in the pantry. Or super crowded pantry. But anyway, but it's tasty. But the thing is, I'm having it with half and half, a little bit of half and half, and honey. So that's what really. But I didn't have to. I could have just had it straight. It would have been fine. But anyway, so that's kind of nice because I think both those teas are pretty centering. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what else. Told you about the arborist, cut down the giant tree that was leaning dangerously in our backyard. I'm giving away some stuff. I like giving away stuff, because it's like, if you still have it in your house and you know you don't need it, it's like, why are you keeping it? It's good energy to give stuff away. So I'm doing that. Oh, yeah. The angels want me to talk about this. They keep reminding me. Okay. There are 2 different YouTube channels. I'll post videos from them in the comment section. I'll post like a sample video from each of these YouTube channels. But they're health-related YouTube channels, and one is these 2 male doctors, who they just have this really good attitude, and they're very experienced in, like, as people age, the injuries they tend to get, and they talk about what muscles. So there's this video. I think I'm going to like a lot of their videos, but the one that I already heard that I'll probably link below is it's like 5 muscle groups that you need to strengthen ideally as you age and make sure they stay strong. Then it helps prevent you from getting injury. Debilitating injury. Because both of these channels actually talk about. The other channel is this one male doctor. And, but they just have good vibes, these people, and good information. And I mean, in my opinion, it's just useful stuff that I think I want to learn, and maybe some of you guys want to learn. So you can, judge for yourself, obviously. I feel like their vibe and the information they want to teach. But, the other one, he teaches I'll post a video of his, but he talks about, the angels are so specific. They really want me to say this. It's about an active lifestyle. They even want me to change the banner for this. So it's so it's like taking that concept of an active lifestyle to a totally different level. Basically both of these channels, because that one video about the 5 muscle groups that they would most want people to maintain and keep strong, to help prevent injury. And then this other guy who's talking about like how active you need to be, and how like okay, sitting they'll say is like the new smoking. It's like so bad for you to just keep sitting and sitting and sitting. Like how I do this live stream and I don't get up every half hour and move. Like that's not really great. I should, maybe at least I can do like some chair exercises while I'm talking to you guys. Right? You're supposed to do this. Like, this is one exercise that you could do. It's like you make a Y and then you make a T and then you make a W. And you keep going like that. And so it's a good like exercise for your shoulder muscles and your arm muscles a little bit. So that would be potentially annoying for people if I kept doing this, but maybe I'll just do it for a minute. But anyway, so the idea is that if you have a sedentary life, even if you work out for like an hour a day, every day. Like if you sit the whole rest of your day or you know, like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of the rest of your day, he says it's not, it's good to, you know, do the hour workout, of course, but that the frequency of activity is really important. It's like, because otherwise your body goes into rest mode and then it doesn't process blood sugar stuff the same way. And it like the insulin can harm your blood vessels and all sorts of stuff. Like it just, they'll explain it better. I can link the videos if you're interested. But basically the one doctor, he says he wants people to do some type of activity, even just that YTW stuff I just said, you know, even just little things like that, or you know, walking. He says even if you get up and walk for like a minute to 3 minutes, you know, just around your house, every half hour, and that is so much better. It adds this whole different dimension to your health, because he says your body adjusts, and if you're physically active, it's like your body stays ready and able to do physical activity. Whereas if you have, you know, you have your workout, but then you have 10 hours of sitting or 8 hours of sitting, and then 2 more hours of sitting later, or 3 more or 4 more hours of sitting later, it's like your body's like bad things happen in your body, basically. So they can explain it better. But anyway, just that idea of an active lifestyle is just not just working out every day, but it's the frequency of movement during the day, which is really something that I hadn't really considered, certainly not to the extent that he's talking about. So I'm trying to do more of that. And I want to listen to more of their stuff, because it seemed like they weren't very judgy. They just had knowledge that they were, and it was really interesting. Like the 2 guys, when they were talking about the 5 muscle groups that ideally you would keep strong, you know, as you age, they explained it as, you know, like, okay, like your core muscles will help you prevent falling, because apparently falling as you age is like the number one way that people get serious injury. And your core muscles apparently help you regain your balance. When you lose your balance, you know, before you actually hit the ground, you know, you can regain your balance with certain muscles. Like I think it's your quadricep muscles of your legs and your core muscles help you to stop yourself from falling. And I never knew that. And so that's why your quads and your core muscles made their top 5 list, which I love, because they're not picking it because, you know, so you can have a pretty butt, or so you can, you know, like look good in a dress or something. You know, they're talking about like real life, you know, because the overall message, which my angels are like so into me talking about right now. So I'll wrap up in a minute, I promise. But they're like, if you don't say this, we're going to hurt you. But it's like about, that Western medicine is good at keeping people alive. And then, of course, my husband, who is an angel, but my husband interjects, well, if you can afford Western medicine, it's good at keeping you alive, which is a very good point, because at least in the US, Western medicine is often unaffordable to many people. But, you know, that's something with the US. But anyway, these doctors say Western medicine is good at keeping people alive, but it's not good at keeping people active and independent and physically functional. So you can have decades potentially where you can't get up by yourself, or you can't walk by yourself, or you can't, so then you might have to live in a home, or you might have to, have people, loved ones help you with everyday physical tasks all the time, or your mind can stop functioning. And, sure, some of those things, this is me interjecting my part. Some of those things are meant to be, but if there's anything that there's a lot of wiggle room in, obviously I would think, you want to have you want to have as much autonomy and liberation and physical functioning for as long as you're alive, ideally, you know. So that's what these guys are about. That's their focus, is like to help you to be functional and independent and physically able for as long as you're living, ideally, which I think is a really good approach. I like that a lot, because so much of what I hear and see is like based on maybe ageism, where, you know, everyone's got to look 20, and if you don't look 20, screw you. Or if not ageism, then like well, kind of a form of ageism where they, you know, it's just a, you know, you want to look as young as possible. And, you know, that is kind of cool and fun, I think, too, you know, to look healthy, you know. But this stuff is way beyond looking healthy, you know, because it's like if you get up every 30 minutes and walk for if you get up every 30 minutes and walk for 3 minutes, or do your YTWs or whatever, you know, it might not make a huge difference in how you look, but if it makes a difference in, you know, if you can get up on your own when you're whatever age you are, then that's priceless. So anyway, I will link at least one video from each of those channels below in the comment section under a thing about, you know, healthy, active lifestyle. And then you could, if you choose to, if you want to, you could look into those videos and those YouTube channels if it's information that is something you want to get into. Good. All right. So now there's one more chat question. All right. I will leave up my disco hot pants image. This is how encouraging. Thanks. I watched that video with the doctors because the link was on your email. Yes. The five muscles. Yeah. The gluteus maximus, the quads, the calves, the core, and the back. Well, thank you. You gave everyone a little summary. Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, and I'll put it below for everybody. Someone says, my grandmother fell and broke her wrist 2 days ago. That's a good reminder of taking care and aging well. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that there are people on YouTube talking about this stuff. And the cool thing, I think the coolest thing about that 5 muscle groups thing, you know, that ideally you would keep strong as you age. I mean, they say, okay, your muscles start to get weaker even in your 30s. And then each decade, unless you go out of your way to strength train and do these things, they'll keep weakening each decade more and more and more, a certain percentage that they calculated. But they said they give you easy ways that you can strengthen each of those muscle groups that they talked about without a gym membership, you know, at home, you know, whatever, like, you know, really easy things that you can do. Which I love, you know, I love that, because it's like, it's so much easier if you're supposed to do it during all these different times in your day. I mean, how on earth can you keep going back to the gym all day? You know, you got to have stuff at home. So, I mean, not to say that you couldn't have a gym membership also, but, you know, if you want to be as active as they say is ideal for this, you know, to be actually, you know, independent and physically able as long as possible, then yeah, you got to have at home stuff. So it's very cool. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. So, that will be a separate video chapter. If you want to listen to that again or skip it, you will be able to. Okay. Well, let's wrap up. You guys are so cool. I'll just end by putting my website up and an invitation for anyone that wants to buy Sets of Healings. The March and April sets are already up on my website, and the themes are quite nice coming up for March and April. March is safety and abundance. So that's really nice. If you have issues with anxiety or worry or feeling jittery, the safety aspect of it could be nice for you. If you have issues with abundance, the abundance part could be nice for you. And it's just good for presence too. Overall, being as present as possible to work any of this stuff. So, and then April is discipline, focus, and time management and productivity. That's April. So both of those months are going to be fabulous. So anyway, and I am very open to working with new people as well as veterans and loved ones of anybody as well. If you want to buy a healing set for yourself and then also for your kid or your best friend or whatever, that's fine. Just obviously put their names and who they are in the notes section when you purchase. Okay. So let's do, I guess we can't do anything. We can't improve upon this image. It's just, this is it already. So I'll just wave. Okay, bye. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever's next for you. You're so amazing. Bye.